well, 5 lights, and we're underway, and, well, there goes the grid. And they're gone. Something has gone horribly wrong.
Up the inside of Hiker, nice move there. Hiker noticed him and gave the space.
And away we go, and it's a very good start from Rip It Up. Look at him, right down the middle. Vectro also getting away very well there. Sig up the inside. Is he going to make it, Sig? Yes, he is. No, he's not.
Almost made contact.
Almost made contact there.
Get through. I think they've all got through.
Everyone has got through there. Rip It Up going a bit slowly on the inside there. Solid Salita losing the back end, but keeps it.
See, down the inside, that's going to be a easy move if he does get anywhere. But again, Furia breaks very late. Oh!
Yeah, as these two battle away, Skulls going around the outside later on the breaks. Herod taking the inside line. He's still there. Herod gone wide. Skull diving all over the place on the track.
Right, have that one, Sunshine. Now he's going to go around the inside again, isn't he? If he goes down the inside again, I'll be bonkered. Nah, you can't. That's going to end the contact. No, it's on side, and then backs out of it. Oh, he runs wide. Oh, he's going to go down the inside. That's Alonso. There was Alonso with a mass up. Oh, that's Ferrari around this corner. Here we are then for the Belgium Grand Prix. 5 lights. Go! And Barry gets a fantastic start. Ethan left, rolling behind her. And further back, Ethan already going defensive at turn 1. Down the inside comes one of the BMWs now. And almost taps the side of the Mercedes further back. Carnage going on there. And I believe they all get through cleanly at turn 1 this time. Ferrari though, he's going to have a look down the inside. Down the inside goes Ferrari. Covering off goes the Ferrari. Round the outside goes it forgets. Well, this is bonkers down the back. Well, talk about great racing to end the year.
Again, not good enough there. It's this track. He's
going
to try on the outside. One's wide, and he's going to be side by side. Is Salita going to try down the inside? They're going to make contact. They're not.
Vector's ran off the track. Yes. Vector did run off the track there, but I don't think...
Get away with it.
He might just get away with it.
Going to make the move. Yes. Into the lead. Pulls alongside. Pulls ahead. The Audi. Plus the Ferrari. Now Ronnie is going to be going shallow. Can he go on the outside again? Yes. Yes. Fight. And takes the lead again. And watch out for that McLaren following behind. This is fantastic stuff. Your top 3 separated by under 1 second. Coming along is Solo Salita. He's going to try turn 1. Does he get through? They all finally, I think they've all got through turn 1 correctly. I think it's finally happened. They've all got through turn 1. Will they get through turn 2? They almost make contact at the back. They're all squirming together.
Let's see, and Alessia's lost it again, and a Ferrari at the same time. Synchronised spinning right there.
I don't think anything can Red do. Gav into the lead. Gav leads the Belgian Grand Prix. And boy, oh boy, has this turned into a shocker. Red in the pit for the lead. He's got a beautiful run. Slingshots past and takes the lead. Now,
have the inside.
We'll have the inside. Now, this could be close. And down the inside. Yes, he does do it. One's a bit wide. Cut back. Could be off Nubs. Now, side by side, as they come down here. Hoy's going to try and give him as much of a squeeze. And does take second position there. Oh, he tries slow. Backs out that time. It's the rear almost there.
So close. So
behind the slipstream. I don't think Alessia's going to do too much about this as he goes down the inside into turn 1. Alessia's going to try and hold it around the outside. Gets on the grass around the outside. Alessia tries to hold on, and it's still not going to quite do it for Alessia. And Ferrelli makes that move and gets it finished.
Pulling along. He's going to go to the lead. Got Sig on the outside. It's going to be free into turn 1. It's all going to be clean. The answer to that is a grand total of yes. It seems to be. Running wide. There goes 5. He's going to jump up to 2nd. Sig drops down to 4th, and this is going
for 3rd position in this Grand Prix. Look at Pancho. He might give him a little squeeze toward the wall. Down inside goes in for 3rd position. Can he get it done, or will he hold it around the outside? He'll try. He will try to hold it around the outside. He gives it a squeeze. Contact made. Good little battle. Forgets will move 3rd position. Can he back? No, he can't. Good little battle from those two guys there.
Brave if he's going to try. I think he'll back out of it. Surely he has to. Unless it's me, because I would have made a move, but he backs out of it. One's wide. He's going to go for the lead. He is into the lead, and he leads. Skull leads. Battling. That was handsome there. Down the inside. That's a good move. Get it there over the curve. Backing tyres.
Did he cut him there? Did he cut him? I thought he cut him.
Does it? Podium. He's on the podium. Finally, he's done it. After so long, Forza GAVRA, there's everyone celebrating. Solo Salita's just having a donut. Does do it. Same position where another car with a side-by-side. Down to a route. This could end badly. Does it? Brazy bravely backs out of that one. He's not going to try that. He'd be mad to try side-by-side.
Ruapuna Park, the lights go red for Ruapuna Park, round 6. And it's go! And Cash gets an amazing start for Raleigh. Gets away well. Alessio gets a storming start, goes into second. He's going to
try it.
On the brakes.
Yes, he tries, takes a
so
slide. Down the inside he goes. One's wide. Throws him through as well. And into second place. That's how you do it.
Cars are within a second of each other. Actually, 13 are within a second of each other. That is actually madness. That shows how evenly matched it is.
Might take him on the inside again.
Challenging. Oh, he's going to
Oh, no.
Sick battles with a wild Renault. That's side by side behind. Around the outside. Sigan, I think around the outside as well. To go GT and Luke, and they're still side by side. Well, look at this. You don't see this very often. Ooh. Well, it's done between those two.
Side by side again. That's
Yeah, good move. Should be able.
Champion tender. Oh, he got off on the inside. And there you have it. All said and done.
Metro trying to the inside. Here we are then. For the lead. For the lead. Does he make a move? Tries. No. Can't do it. Gets his nose chopped right off. Not enough to make a move. I wouldn't think down the inside. What a dive. And does do it. What a dive.
Ladies and gents. Welcome to the pre-season running for the forthcoming GAVRA Racing League season for our newly found championship, which is the GTE LMP3 Championship. It's a new one for us. Basically, it'll be done in a team format, not as in an individual format. So one person drives GTE, one person drives LMP3. During the course of the season, they will swap seats. So both drivers get a go each different vehicle. Should make for an interesting spectacle, I would imagine. There's not much difference between the two cars in reality. LMP3 is a bit faster, GTE has a faster top speed. So will it iron out over the season? Who knows? But this is a pre-season taster. We're testing out a few things, new groups, new format for our broadcasting. So hopefully everything will go swimmingly and we'll all look brilliant. In the meantime, we're looking at, well, we're looking at a track actually, because there's nobody on it yet. But convinced that they will actually at some point come out of the pits and decide to drive. Now I'm led to believe that somebody's Siggy's taking that. Sigrazonico 77 is the first man out. He's absolutely flying out of there, giving this Catalunya track, or Barcelona if you don't speak Spanish very well. Then are they still going to be part of Spain? But that's another question for another day. But in the meantime, Siggy's running around the track. He's the first man out. He's been joined by Red, and yep, here comes Red flying around in his Beamer. And SCLD 1808, who was lucky enough to do academy with me, if you want to call it that. And then we got Thunderhead 74 flying out in his atmospheric car. Hopefully it is atmospheric, if I can say that right. Yeah, I'm saying it right, it is atmospheric. And here we have Suki B-Spec in a very ladylike pink and black. Glad she could join us. She had a few PlayStation account problems. Thankfully for her, they got sorted out in time. Otherwise, she might not have made the season. But thankfully for us and for her, she did indeed make the season, and she managed to make everything pretty in pink. Certainly as far as this car goes, anyway. So we've got a few guys out there on the track now, coming in to join in. And Mr. Real. Could he be unreal? Who knows? But he's Mr. Razy Real. He was unlucky, if you want to call it that way, to just come as runner-up last season in the GT3 Championship. Took it right to the wire, got very close, might have got the taste for it now. After second, there's only one place you can go, isn't there? And that's first. And he's happily in the lovely old green and black there. I've got to get used to these cars, by the way, and know which ones are Ligiers and so forth. That's something I'm going to have to learn before the start of this season. But then again, I believe that's going to be down to my colleague Soupy, who's going to be doing this one. So you're going to have to learn these cars, Soup, if you're watching, which you might be doing, although you'll be watching it on +1 because it's not live by the time you're watching it. So if we have any competitions, don't join in, because it won't actually be live and the competition will be closed and you may still be charged. So hopefully we're looking good. Are we broadcasting fine? Cool. That's fine. I'm not going to repeat that. It's alright, my partner in crime was just saying something to me which I can't possibly repeat on something that's not for over 18s. So, so we'll keep that one quiet. Anyway, we're going to have a little bit of a look around, and Lonnie's just decided to stay in the pits. He's probably decided to go for a last-minute cigarette or a brew, or maybe he's got bad guts, I don't know. But he's still in the pits. He's still in the pits. And here comes Siggy back around. So might get to see some lap times in a minute. Let's see, ID Forgets is also out and about. Let's have a look. And just to name and shame, just in case you haven't been seeing the overlay so far, that's my partner in crime's problem. I'm going to absolve myself of all blame whatsoever. So guys, if you're watching this later on, Gav, Razy, Hio, Soup, Evil, anyone else, Suki, anyone else who wants to watch this later on, it's Tom's fault. I'm unashamedly blaming someone else. And he's just said thank you very much. He actually probably wanted to say something else, but he said thanks. Because he's such a gracious lad, you see. Anyway, we got some lap times up on here. So SCLD, who was quite impressive in our academy, I'm sure he won't mind me saying that. He's gone around in 141 in his LMP3. And Siggy's just got in under 140. So he's the first man under 140 at 39.5. Again, LMP3. It'd be interesting to see the differences in the times. You can see the early GTEs of Red and Thunderhead 145.9, 46.4. But it will be interesting. Again, Suki's gone around in 45.6. She did tell me earlier, I think it was a caveat, or I would call it an excuse, to say that her first lap times might be not that brilliant because she's running on a default setting. Yeah, we all believe you. When you watch this later on, you can have a go at me for saying that. Or you can have a laugh, whichever. We believe you. We know you better than that. Anyway, so having a good look through everybody. We've just got 4 guys not put a time down, but that Lonnie might just make a change to that very soon. Having gone out and about, but you might be able to notice here that there's a reasonable disparity in the GTEs and the LMP3s, but that's just getting used to them. I think once these guys do get used to these cars properly, then you'll probably find some closer times, I would have thought. Obviously the fastest LMP3s will certainly outstrip the fastest GTEs. That goes without saying. There's Lonnie there, very kindly lights somebody through there, who I couldn't tell exactly who that was. It might have been Siggy, but I wasn't sure. No, I lied. So, having a little scroll through. So we can see Siggy there with his 39.5. Is he going to get better than that? We shall see. Probably not, but you never know. Weirder things have happened. So, 39.5 for Siggy in practice. SCLD 41.005, not that far behind in all fairness. And there he is. Rubito Diado is 141.8 again, reasonably close. Suki, better lap time this time there. 142.085, certainly improving. ID Forgets. Don't worry about it in this one. So ID Forgets is gone in 143.4. And go on, we're going to stick on Razy. Let's see how he's going to do in his green. Very fetching livery, I might say. So that's So it's 1:43.748 for Mr. Real. If he was Mr. Unreal, maybe he wouldn't have a time at all because he wouldn't really be there. Do we know the answer to that question? I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, Red had his last lap invalidated for track limits. But, oops, and I've just had a notification come up on my screen. Never mind, I thought we'd stop that. You should just race Suki. That's okay, it's coming up on my screen, it's not coming up on yours. That's good. Go on then, let's just try racing Suki then. Go on then. We'll listen to you. So let's have a look at the old pink and black of, well, it's not old really, but it's Suki's pink and black, which I think is just behind Mr. Real, which just seemed to lag ever so slightly there. I wasn't sure whether that was me or whether his car just moved across really, really weird. But, oh, whereas Suki has decided to go on safari. No, stay on the tarmac. That's what you're supposed to do. Sorry, I can't help my sarcasm. You can slap me later. But so hopefully we can see Miss B-Spec whizzing her way around the track. So again, I'm just going to stay on Suki for a bit, just so we can do some little testing and make sure everything's coming up shipshape and Bristol fashion. Forgive the pun. So obviously, I can still talk, but we can certainly have a look here. See where we're going. Another pop-in message, yay! Thank you very much. But luckily it's only on my screen. Good. Are you asking that question, or are you asking me the question, or are you telling me, mate? I'm assuming you're telling me that they're working fine. I'm sure you can let me know that in a minute or two, but yeah, brilliant, cool, that's good, that's fine. So brilliant stuff. So they're working fine. Is there also what I'd like to ask, because I haven't got it, I was going to put it on my computer screen, but I thought it might put me off if I did. Is the picture quality good? Is the picture quality massively improved from the usual 720? Cool. I'll pass that on to him, he'll be pleased. Hayo says you're doing great. Cool. Oh yeah, oh, Suki's decided to stop. Put your foot down. Go on, you know you want to, really. I mean, we've still got another 8 minutes and 36 seconds left. So, again, Siggy's 138.7 looks to be making the, I think. Suki's just decided to stop, hasn't she, just to be annoying. Good. That's one thing that I wanted to check on with the quality. I know Super had a look at one earlier on. I don't know whether he's watching tonight. Let me know if you are, mate. But obviously, he'd had a look at one from before, and he was quite taken aback by the quality. He thought it was, the 1080p looked really, really good. So, yeah, we can do. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap around. Well, Harrow saying 720p 60 is the maximum quality to choose from, but I thought we could run this at 1080. As far as I know, we are running at 1080 through OBS, which is probably why you might see a better picture quality. Anyway, let's go and have a look at someone else, shall we? Or shall we go for a bit of, not at the moment. Right, Hayo says not at the moment. Okay, maybe that's something we can discuss after and find out. If not, why not? Just so we can see, because our interpretation was that we could run this in 1080p, and trust me, it looks damn sight better. So if there are some issues there, then hopefully we can find out exactly why. It's Tom's fault. Everybody, he's sacked. That's it. P45 job sender. Off you go. Ah, dear God, it's a good job we know him, isn't it? Basically, he's fudged it all up, people. Don't worry, don't worry. Nobody's destroying anything, mate. At the end of the day, it's all done to make sure it's going to be right in a week's time, and that's what's going to matter. That we're all right on the night. This is only practice anyway. We can get into the rest of it. But it's so let's see. Let's decide to go for a little bit of cockpit viewing. Let's have a look and see what we can look at this. So we're now in. Yeah, actually, yeah, I think we should. That's a really good shout. Just as we see Siggy just decided to go over what we tend to call a bit of, oh, that's enough for Siggy. He's going into the pits. He's decided that's enough. Right then. I tell you what, let's go and have a look at one of our colleagues. Let's have a gander. We're in the cockpit with the wonderfully named Evil Dragon, and trust me, I've met him. He breathes fire. So we're having a look at Evil. He's in one of the GTEs. We're just going to have a look and see which vehicle we're in any second now. Just when I can move these across and I can see exactly what I'm doing. So here we go. It looks like we're in a Beamer. Evil's decided to run in the Beamer. This is a good tester for me. Is it an M3 or an M4? Oh no, it's what am I on about? It's an M6. I can see that in the shape. It's an M6. It's an M6 GTR. Well, it's a GTE for this, but its original model is the M6 GTR. So here's Mr. Evil Dragon XXL. That means he's, well, basically it's the same size clothing that I wear. I'd like to say it was the size of the condoms I use, but it's not, unfortunately. But never mind. I would say that, but my wife would probably say I'm probably lying. Featherlight Junior Starter is probably more my thing. But never mind. Off that subject and onto something slightly more palatable. So obviously we're watching Mr. Evil Dragon XXL, who, believe it or not, will be racing. Yes, for those of you that have heard this man commentate and have never seen him, you lucky people, you. So he's basically he's not looking bad. He's staying on the tarmac. Bless him. He's doing a fair. Well, that was nearly my turn for commentator's curse, but yep. He's, oh dear. Oh, what's he doing? Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, oh, and again, no, it's that tarmac stuff you should be on. That's it. That's the stuff. Yeah. Grass is not palatable for this. It really isn't, honestly. But that's because he's evil, you see, and he does these things. So anyway, we've had a look at Mr. Evil Dragon blowing fire and deciding to turn to grass, but that's another thing entirely. So let's have a look. Let's have a little scout around then and see. Right, Siggy's done 138.7, but he's hiding in the pits. He's hiding in the pits. SCLD's 140.2, and Suki just disappeared. People are just disappearing at will. They're just vaporizing on the track. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Evil Dragon went across and he must have breathed fire onto Suki because she's vaporized. And somebody else has decided to join the grass crew. It was. We think it was Thunderhead going into the grass. Oh, there's Thunderhead. It maybe wasn't him. No, it certainly wasn't him. It wasn't you. You're absolved of any blame. Suki's racing. Never. You could call it racing, my dear. I might call it something else. Another thing entirely. So let's have a look at Rubito Diaro. We haven't had a look at him yet. He's one of our guys who just may be to commentating at some point in the future. So this is the sort of thing you want to be doing when you're looking at cars like that whizzing their way around the tracks. Then this is what you do. You just waffle uncontrollably, and hopefully people understand it, they think it's good and informative, and they watch ever more. Hopefully we can make it nice and exciting for you, because most of our drivers will, I'm sure, try and drive on the grass. But again, let's have a look. We're coming 1 minute and 42. Most of the guys now are back in the pits. They've had a taste it. They've got a good idea of what's going on. They've kind of got used to the cars a little bit. Most of them are in the pits. We've just got Evil in his GTR and Mr. Thunderhead in his Chevy. Let's have a look. And we have Mr. Hiker of Sweden, good evening, in his Ferrari GTE. Wait. Gerbil. Anyway, that was just a random word that I threw out there. For any of those. No, it's just my partner in crime is having a discussion about household pets. And we're talking about fish and gerbils and hamsters and rabbits. Really. I think you should get an alligator, but that's another thing entirely. You can feed them for the first 2 months, and then after that you need more children. So anyway, 20 seconds to go as Thunderhead comes into the pits. And anyone else who hasn't come into the pits, well, Ruby Toes just decided to sit on the track. I thought he was having a sit-in. I thought he was going on strike. He is. He's just practicing starts, I reckon. Yeah. Yeah. He's practicing a few starts. We shall see. So, let's have a look. So that's ID. So that's Rubito, and there's Suki trying to race over the boards. No, oh, I thought you were going to go on the grass, in the gravel then. I thought you were going to run out. And here's Mr. Dragon. Where are you going? Were you going on the grass again? I keep telling you, it's that grey stuff in the middle you got to stay on. So, time remaining. Well, we're officially out of time, but it's the last 60 odd seconds before practice completes. And be interesting to see what the qualifying times do as opposed to these practice times. Pong has decided not to do a valid lap, but that's okay, it's only practice. He's going to be a dark horse in qualifying, I just know it. Evil's done the same thing. He might not be quite a dark horse, but then again, you never know. You never know. So we've got Thunderhead in the GTE doing 46.5. Best GTE time so far is Hiker in 44.3. Best LMP3 is 38.7. He's LMP3, so again, could be interesting. Interesting to see what difference it makes between this and the qualifying times. We'll be able to see what difference that makes. So we've just done 20-minute practice. Qualifying is a bit more of a rapid shootout. It's going to be 10 minutes. It's going to be a 10-minute run for qualifying. Be interesting to see what his qualifyings are. So, here we go. This is now 10-minute shootout qualifying. Oh, says Bowie. Oh, what? So let's see, here we go. Getting the first guys coming out. Hopefully they're going to force their way out. Thunderhead's the first one out. Quickly followed by SCLD. So they'll do their out lap. Everybody's coming out now. So I'm just going to have a look at Hiker. Let's see. In his Ferrari GTE. Mr. Hiker of Sweden, who, when he's not racing, decides to be a musical man playing his key fiddle. There is a proper name for it in Sweden, but I'm not going to pronounce it on air just in case I make a complete fool of myself. But actually, if you've never heard one play, you should go on a search engine and check it out. They're pretty cool, to be fair. So his manual dexterity is not in question. So we shall see. Right, moving over to red 1528, who I have had the pleasure or displeasure of racing with. Depends how you want to call that. He's a pretty quick boy, so it'll be interesting to see how he fares. There we go. We have some serious flashing going on. Thankfully only of lights. So let's see. Let's have a look at Mr. Dragon. Let's go and have a look at Evil coming around in his M6. Let's just see where we are. So we're just having a look at these trackside cameras just to get a feel of the different views that we can have a look at. I mean, here we go. Here's the bumper version. So if you want to have a look at tarmac whizzing past, this certainly gives you a feel for speed. Probably more than any other angle, I would say. As you can certainly see the tarmac flying. Obviously onto bonnet cam, slightly different view. Onto the roof, again, slightly different view. And then we can have a look at the back of the car. With the old Star-Spangled Banner there by the look of it. And then of course into the cockpit we go. Driving alongside, into the cockpit, in there, and then we go trackside again. Just to give us a better look there. We can also put the speedo up on there, just so we can see what sort of pace these guys are doing. And I'm assuming that we both get that one up on screen. So let's see. So coming down the main straight, it hits just over 164, 165 before he decides to go drifting. That's well saved, fair play. He saved that one quite decently. If I put that up on there, then we haven't got any, so that's okay. And of course we can pop the map up there so we can see where everybody is on there. They're all little dots at the moment, bless them, apart from the arrow, which is Evil Dragon. And I think we just lost somebody. We definitely just lost somebody. But I wasn't sure who that was then, but I definitely saw somebody disappear. He came up on the side of my screen. I think it was ID Forgets, and I think he's back with us. And now he's gone again. But I'm not sure. He might be having a few issues there with his internet connection. So anyway, let's have a little move around. Let's have a little look at different people, see who we're after. So SCLD's put in the first time 139.5. And then Lonnie's done his 147. Micah's done a 147. Thunderhead's done a 148. They will improve. There's no two ways about that. Those times will improve. So we've still got Pong is still sitting in the pits. I'm just wondering, is he actually going to come out at all? He didn't come out in practice. He's not come out now. Mr. Razy's staying in. Had stayed in. According to this, he's still in the pits. So I'm assuming he might be letting everybody else clear out a little bit, and unless he's just changing some settings and then deciding what to do. Let's see. So let's have a look here, just so we can have a little look. Mr. Real, are you coming out to play? That's the question. So here's Siggy back in front, 38.4. He's certainly looking like the man to be. I had a bit of lag on my picture then. Yeah, we're both getting lag here. Hi-oh Soup, if you're both watching, can you give us a shout if you're getting any lag? Because we're getting some on air. Let's see. Okay, and hopefully hopefully you guys, if you can let us know. Seems fine. Okay, so we're only oh, right, lag on the chat. Right, not on the stream itself. Ah, right. No. I'm on about the physical footage. Yeah. But I believe these guys are watching the stream. So obviously but I'm getting lag on the stream. That's what I said. I got bits of lag on the stream, but obviously the guys are saying it seems fine. So whether that's just coming through this end or not, that's what I wanted to check on, whether there was any lag coming through on the stream itself. It's not done it for a while now, but yeah, it could be. Lag happens when someone joins. Yeah, we did have that. Yeah, that is certainly possible. That's one thing that is annoying with project cars, when somebody comes in or leaves a lobby, and I think we had that when ID Forgets did, but I thought it did it a couple of times when we didn't have it. Yeah, I know. Not much you can do about it. But if that's in the main, if it's coming through okay, then that's good. Obviously, I'm not seeing the overlay on my screen particularly. I'm not seeing it particularly. I'm not seeing it at all because I don't get to see it. But if you guys are seeing it and it's coming through decent, then that's good. Again, probably something that we'll have to do, and this is as much for Soup's ears as it is for anyone else's, is the case of that we give to the person who is operating that overlay. Because obviously if you're doing this, which I was doing earlier, and looking at all the different people, and there they all are in all their glory, then you've got absolutely no chance of keeping up. And Tom's laughing at me. Because he knows for a damn fact he's got no hope in hell of keeping up with that. However, if we were to turn around and say, there's a big battle going on for 4th and 5th between Rubito and Red, and we're going to go over to Red right now, then hopefully he's had the chance to catch up, so we can maybe put that a little bit, try and give them a little bit of a heads up where we're going, if we can. Again, easier said than done sometimes, but you've got to remember that this poor guy's got to try and keep up. Bless him. But then again, no, depending on how we progress with this, we might be able to progress as time goes on, where it becomes not us working on these cameras, for example, and it may be the other way around, and we may well be working the overlay, which would be easy on if we can get that done at some point in the future. It might not be for right now, but we can certainly look to do it in the future, which will then be easier for us because we'll know exactly where we're going and who we're going to look at next, as we're looking at Thomas Ethan 2001. I know Suki had the same. Okay, so that's all right. That was something to do with me, not to do with anyone else. But so anyway, let's go and have a look at Lonnie. I think Lonnie is teammates with, because they're both HLB. That much I remember. Yeah, I think it's Marco. Where is it? ID. Siggy. There's SCLD 1808. Surely he's not that old. I mean, in all fairness, from 1808, if the guy's 210, then that's cracking, fair dues. Anyway, after all that waffle, we are in the very last throes of qualifying. And not surprisingly, I say not surprisingly from my perspective, Zigrazonico is the fastest out there at 38.4. With SCLD, good second behind in 39.5. Suki got herself into third in 41.5. Rubito, ooh, Siggy just decides to do some donuts. He did them on purpose. It's not his driving skill. Well, he would tell you that anyway. And again, looking at the difference here, our fastest GTE guys, Red, doesn't surprise me there, in 44.7. As Siggy decides to do some more donuts. I'll have a jam one, please. But again, that's probably telling you the fastest LMP3 is probably going to lap in about 6 seconds, 6 and a bit seconds faster than the fastest GTE. Again, I think when the season starts, that may change a little bit. Probably not an awful lot though, but it's also going to depend on the track a little bit too. Some of the tracks with slightly longer straights might give the GTEs a bit more chance to catch up because they'll have a slightly higher top end speed. But on the shorter, more technical tracks, then the LMP3s, if people can keep them stable, because trust me, their back ends are quite happy to flip out at any time. That's why I'm not driving in this, because I can't drive the damn thing. Good cars, good acceleration, slightly lower top speed, but very twitchy. If you have a driving style that suits these cars, then that's brilliant. If you don't, steer clear. That's what I say. Anyway, down to the last 10 seconds. So you're going to have Siggy and SCLD on the front row. Obviously, Suki and Rubito Diaro in 3 and 4. So there you go. There's big difference in terms of sectors. Sector 3 certainly a big difference. Sector 1's not the biggest of differences. You won't be surprised by that. But yeah, it's interesting to see what the difference is with the splits of these. And when we've got 4 guys who didn't put down a lap time, probably because they were just testing and didn't really want to put down a proper lap time yet, or maybe they're just going to be dark horses for this race. That's ID Forgets, Mr. Evil Dragon, Pom Kanong, and Mr. Razy Real. So we shall see as they all start to come out for the races. We can see exactly where everyone's going to be. So we're just waiting now, obviously, for everybody. And here we go then. Here we are at the start of the race. Everybody sat there waiting for the beginning. Engines ready. This is it. This is the main event. It's a 60-minute race. Not the number of laps. It's time. So we're going to sit with the pole sitter, Sigrazonico 77. We'll sit with him, see what sort of a start he gets, see if anyone gets a rush on him at the beginning of the race. And of course, looking from the front, we can see everybody else too. Let's see if we have some fun at the first corner. I'm sure we won't, because all these guys are so incredibly safe drivers, and they are all thinking about their fellow racers, not wanting to be the person who ruins someone else's race, he says, hopefully. Otherwise, it's like watching one of those Purple Bricks adverts. You know what I mean if you've seen one. Anyway, sitting, waiting for everybody to be ready, doing their last minute bits. How much fuel do I need for 60 minutes? Do I need to make a pit stop? Talking of pit stops, just to remind you guys, I'm sure you all know anyway, but manual pit stops this year. All our races will have manual pit stops, so if you don't put your pit stop limiter on, oops, you could find yourself being disqualified rather rapido. Do not pass go, do not collect £200, go straight to jail, you're done. So, 60 minutes of racing, we go down to about 58 minutes and 15 seconds. So everybody needs to be ready pretty quick. As we all get ready to see what we can do here. So, everyone's got to be ready. It's now got to be time. Here we go. So just waiting for the lights, everybody's syncing, everybody's getting ready, engines burning, rubber about to go mental. And we're off, as they say at the start of the Grand National. As we pile ahead, there's some pretty good starts there. Let's have a look as we come down to the first corner, looking at Sigrazonico. Suki's gone wide, 1 or 2 have gone wide there into that corner. As we're looking there, getting a cross section as everybody comes out. I think everyone's come out pretty clean now. So just as we're looking again on board with Siggy, let's go back trackside. Let's see exactly what we can look at. So what we're going to do, again, looking in there, I think there's not too many places changed at the moment, apart from everyone's invalidating themselves on the first lap. By the look of it, it looks like that's what we've all done. Let's go and have a look. Let's have a look through the field then. Let's go to Hiker of Sweden, who is into 5th place. Let's just have a look back there in his GTE. So he's there, just slotting in behind Red 1528, also in a GTE. Interesting to see, just to see where everybody is, how these are panning out. And again, the first 3 are obviously LMP3s, then you've got 4 GTEs, then LMP3 again, GTE, LMP3, GTE. So a reasonable split. Interesting to see how it all pans out. We're going to go to the back of the grid and have a look at Mr. Evil Dragon. Here he is in his Beamer as he gets to grips with Mr. ID Forgets, who he's just in front of him there. By the look of that, oh, actually, ID Forgets is now allegedly behind Evil. Well, that's okay. Let's just see exactly where we are. Well, that's ID Forgets there. He's now back in front of Evil. Now I'm confused. Completely and utterly. Which, if you ask my wife, that's not that difficult to do. So, anyway, Evil Dragon in 11th place. With ID Forgets in 10th. We've already got Thunderhead and Razy in the pits. I'm not quite sure why that was. If I've missed something there, somebody can let me know, but I'm not sure altogether. Obviously I can't look in the pits properly, so I can't really see what's going on there. Not sure what happened there. Unless they want to spend 60 minutes in the pits. I mean, you can do that, but it's not going to do very good. So, let's just see. So we're looking at Thomas Ethan 2001, who's also in a Ferrari GTE. And he is currently running around in 7th. So again, we start to look at the lap times. Wouldn't pay too much attention to those in the opening laps. Probably into lap 3 before we start getting some decent times being put down there. So again, we've still got Thunderhead and Razy in the pits. I'm just wondering if they had a little bump, seeing as they're both in there. Quite possible, but I'm not altogether sure, if I'm honest. I didn't really get to see what went on with those guys at all. As we look at Thomas Ethan, and we're going to have a little look through. Let's get back to our leader then, Sigrazonico, who has already built up a 6.5 second lead. So even though we're early days, we're less than 5 minutes in. In fact, we're just 4 minutes in. He's looking pretty good there. Here's our Siggy. So obviously he's going to do okay with regard to that. He's doing quite well, in all fairness. Just so we can see exactly where everyone's going to be. And obviously it won't be just the individual this year, as I said before. It's going to be on a team basis. It's going to be on a team basis. So what we can do is have a little look through. So we're just having a look at a few different things there. I think Pong just left, Rubito Diaro just disconnected. So I'm not sure that what's going on. We've got a bit of a split there. So obviously the arrow to the untutored obviously is our leader, Sigrazonico 77. And again, he's teaming up with Red 1528, who is probably the fastest in the GTE at the moment. So as a team, they're going to be quite formidable. I think if I was a betting man, which I'm not, but if I was, I think my money would be on these two guys going off this, because they I know Red's quick. I haven't really seen Sig racing before, but he's obviously a pretty quick guy. He's certainly quick in this car. So the two guys between Sig in the LMP3 and Red in the GTE, they're the fastest two. So let's have a look at his teammate then. This is Siggy's teammate, Red 1528, who certainly looks like the fastest of the GTEs. Oh, and we've lost Evil. We've lost Evil. He's vaporized. Where have you gone? Hopefully he'll reappear. Hopefully he'll come back in. But then again, you never know. Weirder things have happened. So let's see. So at the moment, we're having a few invalidated laps at the moment as we go and look at the fetching pink and black of Miss B-Spec. And there she is. There is Suki B-Spec, who is teaming up with Thunderhead, who's currently in the pits. So obviously, we'll just follow her around a moment or two. Let's just see. So obviously the LMP is hitting about 161, 162 at the end of that start-finish straight. And someone very kindly letting her pop past there. That was SCLD kindly letting her pop past. And we'll just make sure, yeah, that was indeed. So obviously he's into third, Suki's into second. Not quite sure why he did that, but maybe he just thought ladies first. Maybe he was just being nice. So he's just invalidated his lap of late. So let's have a skirt through then. So we have only 10 still in the race, having lost a couple along the way. We're looking at ID Forgets, who has decided to spin into the grass. Let's have a look on there. It's got a little bit of damage there, not too much though. So according to me, he's 7.5 minutes down, according to this, which can't be right, because we've only been going for that long, pretty much. So I don't think that's right. So, although I think he might be going into the pits in a minute, when he finds his way around, it's certainly not looking that good. So he thinks that's where he's going to go. Certainly the front left, yeah, absolutely, I thought so. Front left was looking a bit dubious. I think he's having a bit of a problem steering that. Could have had suspension damage, could be spending an inordinate amount of time in the pits, I think. As we go and have a look at Thunderhead, who's in 9th. Let's have a look. In the number 28 car, he's going to go into pits as well. Okay, so he's in the Corvette. That's it. He's in the Chevy. So he's obviously got some damage on there. Let's go and have a look at Mr. Rio. So Ray's there in his, I believe that's a Janetta. His teammate Dan, I don't think could make tonight, but unfortunately for him, but I'm sure he'll get plenty of practice in anyway. Dan's a pretty good guy, so I'm sure he'll be getting some practice in his Corvette too. And then we're going to run forward to Thomas Ethan 2001, who's teammate with SCLD, and he's running in the Ferrari. Let's have a look. So that's the number 51 Ferrari. So he's lapping in 147 again. Looking at these times, Ziggy's 139.5. Obviously these times are going to be slightly less than they were in qualifying because they're carrying a few kilos more of fuel. So that's going to have a fair bearing on how these guys are actually going, getting around here at the moment. So we'll jump forward to number 6. Let's go to Lonnie. And again, he's in his Happily in the Ford, is he? Yeah, he's in the Ford, isn't he? The number 9 Ford GT. It's not a bad car actually. I've driven that. Oh, there we go. There is someone there deciding. I think that was that Mr. ID? No, I lied. I've got to find out who that is now. I'm going to whiz my way through it. I think it was red, wasn't it? It was red, wasn't it? Decided to have a bit of a spin. Again, probably just trying to push it that little bit further, a little bit further. But again, I suppose it's knowing what the limits of the car are, to be quite honest. But again, looking at these, the lap times, obviously these are the last lap times of everybody, not necessarily the best lap times of everybody. But again, apart from Siggy, fair disparity there. Second and third Suki and SCLD, and then there's a fair gap there to what some of them. Just looking at some of the times again, still a bit of a mix, but the LMP3 is generally speaking lapping about 5-6 seconds faster than the GTE's. Fastest lap lately was 46.9 from Lonnie in the GTE, obviously the 39.7 of Siggy in that LMP3. So again, fair to say this circuit's far better suited to the LMP3 than it is with the GTEs, as we can see. Right, so let's jump down and we look at red just to try and have a look at some of the other views. So here we are on board with red. Just looking behind him, obviously you can see the cars in front then, so it gives you a decent look just to see where they are in relation to the other vehicles. I'm just going to jump trackside again. If we go on the roof, that gives us a bird's eye of that, and then again looking at the chase camera, you can see then at the moment Siggy's got a 21.5 second lead and we're 8 laps in, so quarter of an hour gone nearly. He's probably going to be on a par with lapping people before we get to the end of this race, I would have thought. He's out on his own right now, certainly laying down a bit of a marker. I think if anyone wants to stop him, I think it's a banana in the exhaust pipe, people. I think that's what you're going to have to do to stop this guy. Either that or handcuff him or something. Just, even then he probably wouldn't do too badly. But yeah, looking at the gap, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to have a look at SCLD and Suki, who are pretty close together. So I'm just going to jump in with SCLD, who's probably just hiding in behind Suki. And here we are. A couple of LMP3s. Has he slowed down now? He did. He went off the gas for a minute. He might have had a penalty. It's quite possible. Slowing right down, coming into the corners. And again, these cars can be really, really, really twitchy. I'm just going to jump. That's the roof camera view into the cockpit view, just so you can get a look from inside. Don't get a lot of room in these cars. If you're claustrophobic, it's not the place for you. There's very, very little space. Everything is taken up completely, as that's whose is that? That's, I think that might have been Thunderhead there that we were just passing. So trying to get a look at, obviously, if you've got a little bit of a race going on between a couple of cars. Again, I'm going to come out, jump onto the chase camera, and then onto the roof camera, and that's your bonnet look. Of course, that's your bumper look. Now we can jump back on board. In the chase. Let's go trackside again. And there we go again, as SCLD just takes back end, just comes away a little bit there. Oh, Suki's disappeared. Suki's just vaporised. She was in second place, but she's just vaporised. I bet you I know what she's saying right now, and I can't repeat it. But it rhymes with clucking bell, let's put it that way. That's as much as I'm going to say. Or bucket. It rhymes with one of them things, definitely. But she's disappeared. She's disappeared. She's just vaporised into thin air. I mean, I don't know why they call it thin air. Has anyone ever seen fat air? I don't know. I mean, I just don't know these things. There's some idiosyncrasies in our language, isn't there? So basically, SCLD has now managed to get himself into second place, which is all the more better for Sig, because he's now 30 seconds in front of anybody else. Oh, SCLD's just decided to do a bit of drifting. And that was, I think that was Thunderhead, he's let by 3, but it doesn't matter because he'd already been lapped. So, like I said, these cars are not the easiest, even for guys who can lap pretty good in these things. Just so we can see. So let's have a look. As we get a bit of a bigger look, that might have put a patch in the tyres, but you never know. Whether that'll have an effect, I'm not so sure. But he might have a little bit. He might have a little bit on those tyres as you do that. So of course, managing to go over the bumps. There. I don't know whether that gets you a penalty. Oh! SCLD just came round and flew off, touched the boards and lost it. But so I'm gonna jump through. I can't see it. Let's see. Oh, it's just moved over. I think to let him go. Let's have a look. Let's see into this. I'm going to jump in with Mr. Real. Let's go and see Mr. Razy Real. He's done 142.6. Let's see here. Let's go in. So you can see that. I can't even see that. I can't see a thing. I've got them on. Which is going to sound weird to you guys watching, because obviously you can only hear my part of the conversation. I was told it was raining and I said I can't see the rain. But I was told that somebody else could see the rain, and I was told to go to Specsavers. And I said, I got mine from Mazda because they were cheaper. But that's another thing. Anyway, the definitive way of finding out is what I prepared earlier. That's what I'm trying to do. Oh, there we are. I think you need to go to Autoglass, Mr. Razy. Autoglass repair, Autoglass replace. Oh, and it's usually only about a tenner off your car insurance. Is it? That's a big spider you've got living on your car. It must be, to have a web like that. A web of intrigue. So let's see then. Let's have a look. I think I win because there's definitely no rain. Oh, there's 1 or 2 range spots now. Now it's starting. There's 1 or 2 tiny little spots on the windscreen of Razy's car. I can see them in between all the smashy bits. Just about. I can see them on the top. I can see 1 or 2. There's not many. It's only spitting ever so slightly, as we say. But it's definitely raining a little bit. So what that will usually mean is that these cars will be absolutely all over the show. Because if you're anything like me, they're not the easiest cars to run anyway in the first place. So it'll be interesting to see what they're like with wet weather tyres on. Which you should imagine, if this rain continues, there'll be a bit of a spate of people going into the pits. So, let's have a look. So there we go. Now we can see the rain in all its glory. No expense spared in the graphics. As you can see the rain falling. Actually, I'm just going to get an umbrella. It looks that realistic. I set the umbrellas downstairs so I can't get it. Never mind. So, in the meantime, we are 20 minutes in. We are a third of the way through this race. And our leader, who we're now looking at, is Mr. Zigrazonico 77, who is now on the 13th lap within this. So we're roughly going to get about 40 laps, aren't we? There or thereabouts, give or take. So, let's see here. Let's see on here. So we got Zigrazonico. So Zigrazonico there, and there's Hiker Sweet in his Ferrari. I don't know. So let's see. So looking at Hiker of Sweden, who is now in second place in a GTE, because SCLD is now down in 5th. Let's have a look. So he's now down in 5th place. We're just going to have a look at him a second. So yeah, we're just having a look there. LMP3, obviously he's the second LMP3 as such. And then if we look, then if I jump forward to number 4, who's Red. Red is obviously showing as third as GTE. He is the third GTE, and he's also, well, he's now the second GTE, but he's third in this race. So obviously the number 2 you see towards the top under his name is showing that he's the second place GTE vehicle. But he's obviously third in this race, and obviously for those of you that don't know, when we're racing, we are racing on an as-is basis. So what that will mean is if your car comes second in the race and it's a GTE, it still gets points for second place. It's not first place GTE, it's second place in the race. All cars are classed together in the race, although it's a multi-discipline. Just so you know. So let's have a look. Obviously the cumulative points that he gets will be added up, of course, and then at the end of the season the team with the most points wins. Not rocket science, people, but just thought I'd say it anyway. So it's not about the individual glory, although it's nice to win races, I'm sure, having never done so in this format. But the main thing is, it's for the team. ID Forgets has gone. Again. We're down to 8. Hopefully that is not a taste of things to come. I'm aware that PlayStation Network has had a few issues today. So let's just hope that that is down to that as the rain starts to come down ever more heavier. So I'm expecting a few people to be hitting the pits. They should be hitting the pits. If they haven't done already, they should be doing very soon. So ID Forgets his back. He's returned. Just when you thought it was safe, he's back. And all I've got to say is everyone's barking. So let's see. Anyway, we're not quite up to the halfway mark. We have 8 drivers left out of 12. So again, seeing all the rain, knowing obviously in a nice warm car the rain doesn't bother you. So here's Red 1528, who now is just behind SCLD and Hiker of Sweden and Sig Rezonico, who's now got a humongously massive 1 minute and 35 second lead over the rest of the field. So let's see. So obviously we're looking at Thunderhead. As you can see on the map there, the cars are all spread, and you can just see that I think Siggy will be catching up with Thunderhead pretty soon. Obviously you can tell by the front of Thunderhead's car that it's obviously had a bit of a liaison with some very hard metal things, probably. Probably cost a few quid if you took it to the garage, and if that was my car I'd probably be crying at the bell. But anyway, so Raysy's in the pits. He's in the pits, obviously getting his wets on. Now it'd be interesting to see what the lap times are like in the wet. How long this rain will last? Who knows? Who knows how long this rain will go on for? And we can just see. So again, SCLD in his LMP3, 17 laps in. Now it is absolutely teeming down. It's raining quite a lot, and Hiker's in the pits, and Raysy's still in the pit. Yeah, make a nice stew. Let's see. I mean, it's very surreal having a race in the rain, discussing domestic pets. Oh dear. For those of you that are totally dumbfounded by all of this, carry on being dumbfounded. Oh dear. So anyway, let's have a look at Hiker of Sweden then, in his Ferrari GTE. The rain seems to be easing off a little bit. I mean, we've had a few people go in the pits, I'm assuming. I don't know whether they were going in the pits for wet weather tyres or whether they were just going in the pits because they needed to. But it does look as if it might have eased off a bit, but it looks like it's chucking down again. So it could certainly be slightly different in different parts of the track. That's not unknown, as Hiker just loses a little bit of grip. So he's probably running on wets because he went in the pit. So Sig's gone in the pits as well. With SCLD in behind him. Thunderhead is also in the pits, but I think he's getting repairs done there. And again, let's see on here. So, I'm trying to get used to all these cameras. So let's go in the cockpit now with Mr. Hiker of Sweden, just as he goes in the pits. Thanks. So anyway, got to slow down to go into pits these days because you've got these manual, the manual pit entry on that. If you come into the pits at more than 37 miles an hour, your race is over, which is really annoying, especially if you're doing quite well. So also you've got to manually pick out your pit crew, and as you can see, his pit crew's there waiting. As he drives in and kills a couple of the pitmen from the other crew, which is something that happens in this game frequently. You get to run over people. It's a bit like Project Cars meets GTA. You just go and run people over, and you don't get done for it. So anyway, as Mr. Sweden is in the pits, look, he drove out and the guy still had his flag down. What's all that about? What's going on there? The bloke's flag was still in front of his car and he drove through it. That was kind of weird. But hey. So let's go on to the the trackside camera then of seeing Mr. Hiker of Sweden coming out onto all of the let's see here. So anyway, we have lap 18, 31 minutes into a 60-minute race. So I'm probably lied. I thought we might get to about 40 laps, but I don't think so. I think we'll be late 30s. And of course, in the rain, the lap times have gone down a bit. I mean, ignore Sig's 2 minutes and 4 seconds because he went in the pits. In fact, SCLD is now in the pits, as is Lonnie. Red, I think, has already been in, if I remember rightly, as I've got a memory like a goldfish, which no, you're not going to get. But we now have, obviously, Hiker there as well. Thomas Ethan, Mr. Racy Real, and Thunderhead there. So we're all pretty well spread out here, but I think this is not so much a case of racing for the sake of racing. It's a case for most of these guys who are having an hour in this car and getting used to it. Not so much from the GTE perspective, but from the LMP3, because trust me, they are a different kettle of fish to try and drive. If you've never driven one, my advice is don't. Not unless you want to spin lots. Oh, we've lost Lonnie. We've lost Lonnie. You know what? This is going to be an endurance race, isn't it? It's actually, 33 minutes gone. We've lost nearly half the field. It's worse than sheep rustling. This. They're all going. They're all going. They're being abducted by aliens or something. There's just something weird going on. It's PlayStation Network at its most devious and evil. Or something like that. Not that I'm saying evil's involved, but it's just devious and evil as a term of phrase. So I mean, you never know. Sig might be the only one that's still in this. Yeah, that's interesting. What happens if the host goes? Who knows? I suppose theoretically the race still goes on because we're actually still in the race. So I'm assuming that once everyone's in the race, then if the host then disappeared, as long as everyone's in and everyone's accounted for and in their specific role for that race, then I don't suppose that matters too much. I dare say we'll find out if it ever happens. But anyway, we started with 12, we're down to 7. And all the rain is falling down from the heaven. I'd never make a poet, would I? Never mind. Never mind. So as all these cars race round the track, we lost 5 drivers. They're not coming back. Well, we have a little bit of a fight going on. There's a little fight going on between 3rd and 4th. It's probably about the nearest 2 we got, so I'm going to jump in with Thomas Ethan, who's just trying to catch up with Hiker of Sweden. A couple of GTEs here, and a couple of fairly well matched Ferraris. So it'll be interesting to see. That's a kiss of death as Thomas Ethan decides not to take that corner very well. So that's probably lost him a little bit, not too much actually, looking at that. But he's about, it's caught right back up actually, about 1.7 seconds there or thereabouts, according to this. This is showing the difference between Hiker of Sweden and Razy. Unless he's not on the same lap. That's one thing that I'm finding odd, because obviously we've got 2 GTEs here, right? So we've got Hiker of Sweden and Thomas Ethan 2001. Yeah, that's okay. So the gap between Thomas Ethan 2001 and Razy is 14.2 seconds. And then the gap between him and Hiker of Sweden is 1.8, 1.7 seconds, obviously differing, fluctuating ever so slightly. As the rain still pours down from the heavens onto the track here. At the rather lovely, sunny, usually Catalonia, which just because we've turned up, it's decided to rain. But that's par for the course. So it's interesting to note that you can go right over the boards on this track, on the chicane certainly, and not get a penalty. It'd be interesting to see on the tracks when we're actually racing them, where you get the penalties from. I think that's probably how most people will spend the practice, just finding out where you get a penalty for going on the boards. Because there are some places where you can, and some places where you quite obviously cannot. So, looking at the lap times then, 6 doing, again, going around at about 1:45.3, so he's about 6 seconds slower than he was, obviously, on the dry, but then again, counter that with the fact that he's probably carrying a few kilos less fuel than he was. Again, I don't know how many kilos he started off with, but I don't know whether it'll show me this when we do this, but we'll have a look. There you go. So just to put it into context, Thomas Heath in 2001's carrying 57.3 litres of fuel. I'm interested to know what Hiker's carrying. 36.4. So it's 21 litres less in Hiker's car than there is in Thomas Heath's. So that's a fair disparity of weight. 20 litres? Could be 20 kilos if it's a kilo per litre. It's bound to make a bit of a difference. So again, looking at the lap times here, the gap is right down, it's under a second now. Oh, and we've lost ID Forgets again. He keeps coming back, he's made more comebacks than Muhammad Ali. And trust me, he made a few. I'm old enough to remember. Just. So let's see, we're under a second then between Thomas Heath in 2001 and Hiker of Sweden. Again, Thomas Heath's carrying 56 litres of fuel and Hiker's carrying about 20 litres less, but that's not really counting for much at the moment, because Thomas Heath's certainly going to pass him. There's no two ways about that, unless you wonder if Hiker's possibly carrying a bit of damage. That's certainly possible, but he's taking the bends wide as well. And he's certainly measurably slower, even though he is a lighter car. So, again, minor damage possibly could be hindering him somewhat. But we'd have to see by the time they're going into the pits if that's where he's going to go. But Thomas Heath's definitely going to pass him. It's not a case of if, it's a case of when. They might have a look just after this corner. Try to have a little look on the outside. Might try and take the inside first and then try and come on the outside, but you probably just sit there behind him for the moment into the slipstream here. Might try and take him, might try and outbrake him into this corner. No, but he's close. Again, might try and take him after these corners. He'll certainly be able to take him off the start finish straight if he comes out of the corner well. And at the moment he's just lost. Oh, he spun, he's lost it. Oh, sickening. Oh. So he just spins out as Razy comes around. Oh, and he spun again. Fair play. Some good braking from Razy there to avoid him. That's what happens in the rain if you try and push it that little bit too much. So let's go and jump into Mr. Razy Real, who's now taken over 4th place. He's now going to be chasing down Hiker of Sweden. As the front two really are out on their own, shall we say. But yeah, looking at Razy on here. Again, he's carrying 53 litres, but I would imagine that the LMP3 goes through fuel probably a fair bit quicker than the GTE will. However, let's see. So Razy's got an 8-second lead on Thomas Ethan. Make that. He's over 12 seconds now. What's happened to Thomas Ethan? Has he stopped? Yeah, he's not moving, is he? Or he wasn't. Something there was happening. Something was certainly gone. So again, looking at Mr. Razy Real in his LMP3. Ica's still doing pretty well in the GTE. There's not much in this. Couple of seconds, just well, it's just moved out to about 3.5 seconds. Oh, got a spinner again. I think just had another spinner there, and I've got a feeling it was Sig who just did the spinner. He just spun out. Shows it happens to the best of them. So again, that was a spin for him, but in truth, he's so far out in front, he could probably drive the rest of the race backwards. Maybe not, but he's certainly way in front of everybody else. Again, lapping in 1:47.3. Nobody else. Well, Razy's done a 1:49.9 to be fair, so could be another one who's decent in the rain. But yeah, we got something there. I'm going to jump back into Mr. Razy Real, who's just creeping up and just getting into third place past Mr. Hiker of Sweden, who didn't put up too much of a resistance there. Don't think there was much point in doing that, because the LMP3 is certainly going to have the measure on it in acceleration. The danger with the LMP3 is keeping it going in a straight line, which is bad enough in the dry, never mind in the wet. And there's plenty of wet on this track. Even if you try and follow the race line, which theoretically should be drier than anything else, but in reality probably isn't. So let's just have a quick look at how we're all doing then, as we look at Mr. Rio coming down in front of Hiker of Sweden. There we go, just testing out the mute on my microphone, as I had a very well earned slug of my cup of coffee that's been sat there since the race began. And it's still warm, believe it or not. So it must have been baking in the very beginning. Anyway, if we got any of the guys still watching the race, if Soup's still watching or Hyo's still watching, are we still looking good? Someone's still watching, we know. You can't fool us, we know you're watching. Anyway, in the meantime, in the rain, it's the Magnificent Seven. That's what we're left with. Or is it the Seven Brothers that the Seven Brides had? Or is the Seven Seas of Rye, or the Seven Continents? It's the seven of something. There's so many things you can do with seven. We are. I know you are. Fair play. Does it still look decent? That's the question. Does it still look good? That's the burning question that we have. So anyway, we've had enough of looking at Mr. Real now. So, because he's not spun out or anything yet, spoil sport. Let's go and have a look at Thunderhead, who's currently powering around. Excuse me. He's currently whizzing his way around the track. I agree. The weather's like it is in Leeds. It's raining. It's always horrible in Leeds. Sorry if you live in Leeds, but you know, it's just the way it goes, isn't it? Suki was just debating how good PlayStation Network is, and let's be politically correct. she wasn't being complimentary about PlayStation Network. I think she was saying it was, I think we'd say SH1T. You can make of that if you will. And if you can't make anything of it, then never mind. But in the meantime, watching Suki's teammate, or was, or hopefully will still be, depending, not sure. But he's driving his Corvette, is Mr. Thunderhead 74. And it's still looking a bit, well, worse for wear at the front there. But can't be too bad because he's staying out, so it can't be that bad damage-wise. So let's see, if we got any battles going on? Actually, we've still got Thomas Eaton and Red there, haven't we? Let's go and have a look at Thomas Eaton then. In his Ferrari, he's trying to chase Red down, and we're going to have a look at Red a second. And, yep, he's in the Beamer. There's still a gap, 2/3 the length of the start-finish straight. Interesting to see what the pace is at the end of that. I'm going to jump back to Thomas Eaton again, just to see what his speed is as he hits. So he hit about 158 before he started to hit the brakes there. We'll stay with him for a moment or two, just to give my partner in crime a chance to actually work the overlays. So as I'm going to say, how long, what sort of time span does it take to do that once I jump to another car like this? Okay, so it's about, not long, about a second and a half maybe. That's not bad, that's okay. Yeah, because if I do something like, you haven't got open elevator. Not really. So guaranteed I'll be doing that to you next Thursday. No one. So let's have a look then. Let's see who we got the closest together. Actually, they're really well spread out, as you can see on that map graphic. Allegedly, somebody has, well, somebody had stopped, but they haven't now because we've got a big yellow square. But the yellow flag's disappeared now. So anyway, looking at our mate Thunderhead, who seems to be, he might be catching up on Thomas Eaton, although he's admittedly on a different lap. That's the one thing on here, it doesn't tell me what lap people are on. Obviously I know what the split is between them and the leader, because I can see Sig's on lap 28 as Thunderhead decides to be like a cow and go and chew some grass and then have some donuts. Oops. Yeah, that's interesting. It gives me some footage anyway. I mean, that was another good donut. That was another good donut anyway. It's as he gets back going. Well done. So obviously I can see on here that Thunderhead's 707 behind Sig on lap 28. If I jump to, if I'm on his car though, there is nowhere it theoretically tells me what lap he's on, which would be nice if it showed like 1 lap down, 2 laps down, 3 laps down. Yes, you can calculate that by the time span in reality, but hey, you certainly know, well, if the average lap is about 150, just under 2 minutes, then we're probably looking at 3 laps, or maybe into 4 nearly. Well, it will be 4 when Sig catches him up. So it's about 3 laps and 3.8 laps, something like that, very close to being 4 laps down. So let's have a look. There's Thomas Eaton, who's now 25 seconds behind Red. And obviously, there's nobody really close to anybody else. Because Sig's out there in front, blazing a trail as he comes in to finish his 29th. We've got, yeah, I mean, Sig's pretty much done the majority of the field up to Razy, who he's just about to lap. So by the end of this race, he probably will have lapped everybody. I think that's a foregone conclusion. I think I said that very early on. But fair play to the boy, he sets a decent pace. And I don't think anyone's going to stay with him for this season. And like I say, Red's probably as fast as anyone in the GTE. I know Hiker's managed to sort of get in front of him. Again, another proficient driver. Not that anyone else isn't. These are just guys I know specifically. And I think you look at them two as a team and think they're certainly the guys to beat. I don't think there's any doubt that Sig's the guy to beat in an LMP3. I think Razy was just being nice and letting him go. Because obviously he is lapping him and he's under a blue flag, so I think he was just doing the decent thing there and letting him blaze a trail, which is lost. I think he just went wide there. I think it just lost him his line from letting Sig go past him. I think he lost the line then. So obviously off the main racing line it's going to be a bit wetter, and I think probably lost a bit of traction then. And I believe these things don't have traction control anyway, do the LMP3. I don't think they have any assists, which is probably why I can't drive the damn thing. But that's another thing entirely. But certainly looking around, we've certainly got a big enough split. We're down to 8 minutes. 8 minutes to go into lap 30, so we'll probably make just about into lap 35 maybe. Let's go back to Thunderhead, let's have a look. Let's just see exactly where we are. That's better. So if we're on this one, obviously looking at the back of Thunderhead as he's going around, this is just showing us various. That's our onboard view, of course. Let's take them out. That's our overview, which is exactly what it says on the tin. Timings then so far. So best lap, LMP3 Sigratonico at 139.1. SCLD 1808 141.9. So again, there's a difference there. Just showing how proficient Ziggy is in this car. Then Razy in 142.1. Best time in the GTEs at the moment. Obviously Red 1528 is done at 145.4. Hiker just behind him in 146.3. Thomas Ethan in 147.1. And Thunderhead in 147.9. So not a massive spread. 2.5 seconds between best and worst of the 4 GTEs. But again, for most of the guys, they're probably just getting used to this. And again, it will be different on different tracks, of course. Some tracks will be better suited to the GTE, some tracks, as this one, obviously are. You got that on your screen, have you? I thought I only had this. That's a shame, because that'll come in handy for me at times. I only thought I had that one. Never mind, eh? Yeah, let's just... We're down to 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 24 seconds. Hold on to your bladders, lads. Not that long to go. So again, let's have a look. So there's a bumper. Let's have a look. Let's see here. So again, looking at body cam, roof cam, chase cam, as that's Siggy going past again. Yeah, let's jump up. Of course it was. How could I ever doubt that? So there goes Mr. Rizzonico in SCLD 1808. Just trying to see it. And then of course, Material is interesting. Sig's got 22 litres left in his. SCLD's got 27.6 litres left in his. Crazy's got 36 litres left in his. So I'm tempted to say, so again, 6th, that's better. Sig with 21.6. So he's obviously got the correct fuel in for an hour's race. I'm certainly closer to. SCLD with 27. Crazy with 35, so you can probably afford to put a bit less in than that. So it might make up a bit of disparity in time. Maybe not massive, but a little bit of disparity. I was going to say, you're not going to take that. I was wondering when the brakes were going to kick in. I mean, I think if this was cricket, the umpire would be spreading his arms out to signal a wide, because that was very wide there, Mr. Real. Let's see. So, again, a bit of blowback then. But yeah, that was a case of either forgetting the brakes or expecting to kick in, push down a bit harder, I think. Or he might have been falling asleep, I don't know. I'm sure he'll tell me. So anyway, Hiker of Sweden. In his GT8, I think we're going to go in the cockpit and have a look, aren't we? Here he is. So, let's have a look. I don't think anyone actually used their windscreen wipers, did they? I would. So, anyway, here's Mr. of Sweden. If that's how we're going to turn the names. So there's a trackside sitting on my backside. That works. Not. So let's go trackside again. Hey, there we go. That's better. So roof cam, bonnet cam, bumper cam. Let's have a look at. I think Mr. Red's probably catching a little bit, but not in the last lap because I get a lap to 4 seconds faster than needed. I've gone quiet. Can you hear me now? Yay! It's all gone quiet over there. No, it's not really. Anyway, the sky is The sky is clearing. The sun is thinking about coming out. Only thinking. It's probably just got up and having its cup of tea. It might decide to come out in a minute. But as soon as there's 50 seconds left, so we might get a rainbow. You never know. I've never seen a rainbow in this game. So, in the meantime, let's head back to our leader. If I press the right button, that is. Here he is, Mr. Sigrazonico, who is currently a mind-wobbling 2 minutes and 27 seconds ahead of SCLD 1808. I want to see this guy in the GTA. I think he'd be quite decent in that as well. But in all fairness, I'd say, apart from I remember one particular spin. Apart from that, it's been reasonably flawless from Mr. Sigrazonico. Like I say, this is a bit of a pre-season tester, not just for these guys, for us, as somebody there decides to do. Was it Hiker? Was that Hiker? Was it Red? It was Thomas Ethan, wasn't it? He just decided to do a spin. Well, that's okay, because we are at the end of this pre-season test. A 1 hour test for these guys. Hopefully some of them are now probably crying, thinking, what the heck did I bet in the LMP3 for? Oh, Siggy decides on the very, very last lap to take a wrong turn. Wonder how the tyres are doing. Probably not that great. Pity, I can't see him. But anyway, Zig Rosonico takes the checkered flag, albeit a very sopping wet one. But he certainly does. He lays down a marker in this pre-season get-together. Because he's certainly looking like the guy to beat of the guys that we've seen tonight. We're only missing 1 or 2 from tonight, and that's certainly quite an impressive show by throwing down the gauntlet and finishing a good 2 minutes 20 seconds above anybody else. So there we go, it's all done and dusted, as Mr. Real decides to just catch up with him, and Siggy gives us a flash of his lights, as he is inclined to do, because he's won. You don't get a trophy, you don't get any points, in fact you don't get anything, apart from letting everybody else know that you're pretty good. So now you've got to live up to it. No pressure. Again, hopefully that was a decent run out for everybody, for those that stayed. We finished off with the Magnificent 7. Hopefully the other 5 that dropped out, well, I know 1 or 2 probably have PlayStation network issues, so hopefully. Anyway, that's the end for tonight. Best.